Hello everybody, this is Derek L. Mitchell, and today I want to share with you a quote from Les Brown. Les Brown said, "All of us are self-made. However, only the successful claim it." Now, when I first heard this phrase from Les Brown, the first thing that I thought about was accountability. And that's something that is very hard to accept. And usually when people do accept accountability, it's for something that is positive and not negative. You always hear people talking about they are a self-made man or a self-made woman, or a self-made millionaire. But you never hear anyone say that I'm a self-made failure, or a self-made loser, or a self-made marginally employed disappointment. You never will hear people take credit for things like that. But we will always take credit for the positive, even when we don't necessarily deserve it. So when I heard this phrase, it covered all extremes of self-made. Take credit for the good and for the bad. Now, for a while, I understood this phrase in theory, but eventually I would have an experience that would bring it into reality and give me a practical understanding of what it means to be self-made. Now, this all started with a list that I make at the beginning of every year. For the past 5 or 6 years, I make a list of high-level goals for that coming year, just as kind of a GPS to keep me on course and to keep me focused throughout the year on what I want to achieve. And one day I took a look at that list and had the realization about accountability. Now, this stemmed from what I was experiencing at my last job. About a year after I had gotten a promotion and a raise, I started to do what I always do when I achieve something or have a breakthrough. I started to look around and ask myself, what's next? What goal do I want to achieve next? And I started to feel that way at my last job. Initially, I was excited about the promotion and the raise, and was grateful. I was excited, but then that turned to contempt and complacency. And internally, I was complaining because after a year in this position and with this salary, I wanted more, and I started to feel very dissatisfied. And in an attempt, I guess, to get some clarity and to kind of inspire some gratitude, I went back to those previous it's the goals that I had made over the years, just to look at them and to be able to track the progress that I had made and to see how far I had come. But what I walked away with after looking at that list was not what I intended. After I looked at the list that I had made for that year, I realized that I had hit every goal that I set. I mean, to the T. The job title, the exact amount of money, and some other things. The goals that I put down on that list had become my life. I had manifested all of it. And it hit me because I'm now complaining about the goals that I achieved. So my breakthrough and success and victory on one day, it becomes my contempt and complaints on another day. How does that happen? And then that quote from Les Brown hit me. What I was living at that point in time, what I was complaining about and bitching about and moaning about, was self-made. I was living everything that I had envisioned at that point in time when I made those goals. It was me. I realized that I was accountable for what I had created in my life. I created what I wanted at that point in time, but eventually I got used to it and wanted more. And at first I felt kind of bad about it because I started to think what would have happened if I was written down higher goals on that list. Would I have been a lot further along? Was I the one who was holding myself back by my limited goals based on what I believed about what I could achieve in a certain period of time? There's this poem that talks about life gives you the wage that you ask for. So I asked myself, if I would have asked for more out of life, would I have more? But ultimately, what I realized is the power of accountability. Because after I got through all of the negative feelings, I saw that because I am accountable, and because the condition of my life at that point was based on my goals and my vision, then I could change it. And that's the bottom line. If you are willing to accept that you and your life are self-made, then that means that you are accountable. And if you are accountable, then that means you have the power to change it, because you have the power to mold it in the first place. And that means that you also have the ability to change and reshape you and your life as you see fit. So I encourage you to accept the fact that whatever you are experiencing right now in your life is self-made. Accept it, acknowledge it, and then you will have the power of accountability to change it as you see fit. Think about it.